If this is your first time here, please like this video and then click subscribe and then bang the bell so you don't miss a thing when it comes to the absolute best business and personal relationship tips on the net. Now off to today's featured presentation. Enjoy. All right, welcome back to another episode of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Daily Walk Edition. This is episode number 57. And if you're viewing this on my YouTube channel, and this is your first time here, or you've been here before and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and then bang the bell. And that way, if you bang the bell, you'll get all notifications and you won't miss a single video or potential live stream I may do on YouTube down the road, even though primarily I'll be doing my live streams on twitch.tv. As I've mentioned in the past, you just never know. So please subscribe, bang the bell, and that way you won't miss a thing, because things are going to continue getting hotter and heavier here on Coach Eli's network, including my YouTube channel. I also upload my videos on my Facebook business page at facebook.com/lifecoacheli. If you're a Facebook friend of mine, I share that on my timeline. Or you can view my videos on my website at coach.eliasmelas.com. And then clicking on the Relationship Sanctuary blog tab, you'll see everything there. There are many ways to connect with Coach Eli and keep in touch. Yeah, okay. So, and also, you know, this channel is also largely funded by donations. So if you find it in your heart and soul and you have a few extra bucks to spare, you know, please consider making a donation in any amount that's equivalent to the value you feel you may be receiving. You can go to coach.eliasmelas.com/donate, or you can even go to my website and click on the donate tab. Or you can even go below in the description of wherever you see this video and become a Patreon, or become a patron of my Patreon. I always fuck that up. It's so confusing saying that for anyone. Become a patron of my Patreon channel there. And once I start getting a bunch of patrons on my Patreon, I will start providing some exclusive content out there. There will be some exclusive content coming soon to Coach Eli's network. Some of that will probably go on the Patreon, and some of that will probably go even elsewhere. More information coming soon on that. But I've got another great video here for you folks today. So much is going on, so much to do, so little time. So let's just get to the topic and get down to business. The topic of this episode of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Daily Walk Edition, episode number 57, is... What is the topic? Masculinity matters. Non-toxic. Plus, dating advice for women and other Coach Eli updates within my network. One more time, the topic of today's Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Daily Walk Edition, episode number 57, is Masculinity Matters. Non-toxic, that is. Plus, dating advice for women and Coach Eli updates. And these updates are going to be in regards to my entire network. There are some things coming up, some things that have changed, and I'm going to be making you folks aware of that today. So let's get right to it here. So one of the most major updates I made recently is that I'm leaving the mgtow manosphere permanently. At least I'm removing the name. I'm not associating myself with mgtow. in regards to the name. I wouldn't say I am completely removing myself from everyone involved within mgtow, because there are some great people I choose to keep in touch with. These are the good, reasonable men and even some women I've met through the community that I want to keep in touch with. But like I've mentioned in a video I did recently on Friday, I'm not going to be using the mgtow moniker anymore. And a few weeks ago, or earlier on at the beginning of this month, I announced that I'm going to be doing a brand new show with Charles F. Gray, who is a prominent content creator I've known for almost 2 years now, out of Alberta, Canada. I announced I'm going to be doing a show called Real MGTOW Talk with Coach Eli and Charles F. Gray. Because I am removing the mgtow moniker permanently, I had to change the name. And I wanted to change the name to something that was going to be more prominent, something that was going to make more sense for what I'm doing, for what Charles is doing, without involving the mgtow label here. Okay, so let me hang on one second here. There's somebody walking aimlessly over there, and I don't want to get in their way. So let's just come over here on this side. So I reached out to Charles F. Gray earlier this morning, and I asked him if he's been keeping up with the videos I've been putting out and other people have been putting out, and he said yes, he has been, but he's been a little bit under the weather, so he hasn't really done much content on his channel lately. And I basically made him aware that we need to change the name of our show. The show will still be, the same type of show. We're still going to be talking about, masculine topics, masculine and feminine topics. And we're still going to be talking about, content that involves red pill knowledge. Just because we discuss, red pill topics does not mean that we're referring it to mgtow. I personally am disassociating red pill knowledge from mgtow. Because what I've also learned is that, and it makes sense, is that, people that go mgtow and live based on the red pill, with red pill knowledge. But you don't have to be mgtow to understand red pill knowledge and either partially or fully use, red pill knowledge. Okay? So basically, I suggested a new title for the show to Charles F. Gray, and that new title is Masculinity Matters. And he loved it. He actually just got back to me shortly before I started recording this video at around 2 in the afternoon, Pacific Standard Time, where I live here in Northern California in the San Francisco Bay Area, and he loved the title. Now, I also asked Charles F. Gray if he would be open to doing one more prelude show tomorrow on Wednesday, to give one final push for our premiere live show, which is going to happen next Tuesday, January 29th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on Twitch TV at twitch.tv/Coach Eli. And he said he would love to do another prelude show, but since he's not feeling well right now, he was asking me if it would be okay for us to do that on Friday. So I can't promise 100%, but more than likely, Charles F. Gray and I will be doing a prelude show of Masculinity Matters. It'll be the second prelude because we did do a prelude a couple weeks ago with the former title, Real MGTOW Talk, which we are no longer using. So basically the same show, different name. More than likely, we're going to have... Wow, that car was going pretty fast down this residential. So basically, same show, different name. And it'll be the second prelude episode as one final push before we do our premiere live event, like I just mentioned a second ago, which will be on Twitch TV on Tuesday, next Tuesday, January 29th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And if you want to go to my Twitch TV and sign up there, it's a free sign up. Go to twitch.tv/Coach Eli. The link to that's available wherever you're viewing this video. Click on that, sign up, and that way you'll be notified every time that we go live there. Or even if I decide to go live on my own there. You know, outside of the show, we're going to be doing Masculinity Matters. Now, so how and why, how did I come up with the name Masculinity Matters and why? And why did Charles agree to it? Okay. Because he has to agree to this also. It's not just about me, putting out a name and he just shows up and does a show. It has to make sense for the both of us. So, Masculinity Matters means two things. Okay? The first thing that it means is that masculinity still matters in today's day and age of modern day radical feminism. A lot of men out there nowadays have changed from being real, true, strong men like they were in the past during the traditional days where women were more submissive. And because women have become more dominant and they've been empowered and now they have equal civil rights to men, a lot of men have been scared off by this and they don't know how to handle it, so they behave more beta. They behave like beta men. In essence, they're behaving more like women than men, and women are behaving more like men than women. Okay? So, this is why, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to name the show Masculinity Matters, because being a real, true, strong, alpha, masculine man still matters in the modern world. Because that's what women are attracted to. No matter how empowered women are, no matter how much women feel they want to wear the pants, this is with no disrespect to women, no matter how much women feel they want to be a step above men, you women ask yourselves this question. Every relationship you've been in where you've worn the pants, how long has that lasted? Even if it was with a good guy, even if it was with a good beta guy that was a great provider, you had a great family with, maybe you initially had great sex with, but all of a sudden, you started feeling different. You're like, wow, I've got everything. My man is a decent lover. He makes good money. He's a great provider for our kids, but I'm just not feeling it for him anymore. What's really happened? What's happened is the fact that you've taken on the role of the man because of you being empowered as a modern-day woman. And because of that, he's flipped to the other side of where you should be by him being the beta, feminized man. So what we're saying here, when we're saying that masculinity matters, okay, as the title of the show, Masculinity Matters with Charles F. Gray and Coach Eli, in essence, what we're saying is that even in today's modern world of radical feminism, no matter how much a woman thinks she wants to wear the pants, she really doesn't want to. She just wants to be treated equally and fairly and respected in the same way she wants to be respected. Okay? And I also go one step further, and maybe I'll talk about this in a little bit. No, I'm not going to talk about this now. I was going to talk about, men needing to be in the one-up position, which is true. I've kind of mentioned that before in some previous videos, but I'll get to that here in just a little bit. Let me get to the other aspect of why I came up with the title Masculinity Matters and why it makes sense. It is because we're going to be talking about matters that relate to masculinity. So we're going to be discussing topics, matters that relate to what men are going through and have gone through and, give our advice on what we feel men need to do to best navigate through this crazy modern world that we all currently live in today. Okay? So those are the two aspects right there. Okay? So join us, next Tuesday or this coming Tuesday. I mean, the day I'm releasing this is on Tuesday, but it may not get released until later tonight. So this coming Tuesday, January 29th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on Twitch TV. Go below in the description section of wherever you're viewing this video. You'll see the link there, twitch.tv/Coach Eli. Click it, go over there, quickly sign up for your Twitch account. It's free. And join us next week for an amazing show. And once again, more than likely, Charles F. Gray will be doing a second prelude episode to this show, pre-recorded, this Friday, which should be, we're going to probably record it sometime in the morning, late morning. It should be released by early Friday afternoon. If we do not do that show, either way, I will do a daily walk, and I'll update you folks this Friday on my daily walk episode. All right, so that's pretty much that. And that only took about 15 minutes to get through. Yay, all right. This might be a shorter video today. My videos lately have been going, 55 minutes to like an hour and 4 or 5 minutes. So maybe I'll give you folks a little bit of a break today. All right. So let's talk about dating advice for women, the secondary part of this video. Okay, so why did I add this to my topic today? Well, in the past, when I ran my former YouTube channel, which was called Coach Eli, Uncompromising Business and Personal Relationship Coaching. Now, that's technically still the name of my business. If you go on my website, you will still see that there, My logo still has Coach Eli, Uncompromising Business and Personal Relationship Coaching. I might end up changing that to what I've recently changed my YouTube channel name to Coach Eli, straight up dating and business advice. Oh, and by the way, somebody out there actually questioned what I meant by straight up. And I think it was more of a joke, but I'll address it anyway. They're saying, are you only going to be dealing with straight people, and are you going to be discriminating against gay people? No, I help everybody, whether you're gay, straight, lesbian, bi, trans, even if you're gender non-conforming, such as the non-binary status. I've been learning a lot more about that lately. You're still humans. You still have emotions. So I can help you folks. And, when you're dealing with gay and lesbian relationships, you're still dealing with the same aspects as a straight relationship, because in a gay or lesbian relationship, one side typically has more of the masculine role and the other side typically has more of the feminine role. There's typically one side that's more dominant and the other side's more submissive. If you don't have one side, a little more dominant than the other side in a relationship, it'll never work. There always has to be someone that's more of the leader and someone that's more of the submissive type of follower, okay? If not, it just won't work. Because that's how straight relationships work. That's why traditionalism worked so well, because men were the leaders. We went out there, we kicked ass, we brought home the bacon, and our wives were the soft, nurturing ones. They took care of the household, the family, the kids, the cooking, the cleaning, all of those things were what women used to do, which was more of a submissive nature, and then the man was more of the masculine dominant nature. So in order for sexual polarity to exist in any relationship, whether it's gay or straight, one side has to be a little more dominant than the other side. Okay, so I kind of wanted to put that out there to make you folks aware that when I say Coach Eli, straight up dating and business advice, you can refer back to that song by Paula Abdul. I think somebody mentioned in the comments. Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Oh, 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 or am I caught in a hit and run? Okay, someone's going to cut that like Coach Eli's quote mine. I shouldn't even mention that anymore because that's part of that former community. But anyway, I get a good kick out of Coach Eli's quote mine, actually. Yeah, it's either Joe Buddy or now someone else mentioned within my Discord. And it could be Zia's son because he's really good at editing videos. And he has high-end systems to do it. So, and he has a lot of time to do it, more so than some other people. So, but anyway. So, okay. So again, yeah, I help everybody, regardless of your sexual orientation. So when I say straight up, dating and business advice, I mean straightforward. No fluff, no bullshit, no games, just the real, raw, honest truth. And I think the person that made that comment actually knew that. I can't remember if I banned this person or not, but regardless, I think you knew that, it wasn't meant in the way that you made it appear to be within your comment there. I think you were just trying to get a rise out of me. So, anyway, got some people playing with their dogs over here, so I want to cut over here on this side. Let me just move over here. All right, so there's a little doggy coming up to me. Okay, cool. All right. So let's talk about, I'm kind of getting distracted a little bit because there's little doggies back there. You can see them like back there. I love dogs. Oh, man. Dating advice for women. So on my former channel and even on my new channel, I've been, getting many messages and emails on this lately from women asking me, do I cater my channel and do I cater my advice and my business more so to men and not as much towards women, or a combination of both? Or who do I cater my message to? I cater it to everyone, like I just mentioned. Whether you're male or female, gay or straight, bi, lesbian, trans, okay, even if you're gender non-conforming, such as non-binary, I cater it to everyone. We're all human beings. We all have emotions, regardless of how we identify ourselves. Now, it may appear like I'm focusing the majority of my content on straight men because, in all honesty, I honestly feel that straight men need the most help because, like I mentioned in some videos way in the past, okay, that are probably buried by now, okay, straight men, used to have every advantage over every single group out there, including women, including gay men, including lesbian women, including, transsexuals, bisexuals. Men were looked up here, and then the rest of those groups were looked upon down there. Well, it wasn't right for those other groups to be looked down on. But what's happened now that all those other groups, including women, have equal rights, and they have they're able to do anything that us straight men can do. Gay men can get married, lesbian women can get married. Okay? And now, even here in California, there's an option. I've got cars coming from everywhere, and I just got to wait. Because they're waiting for me, I'm waiting for them, and I'm just going to wait for them. So they're not overly confused. All right. So there's a third option on your driver's license here in California where I live. Okay. It's male, female, or non-binary. Okay. And so, again, I cater my message to everyone, but more so men need the most help. Okay? And a lot of women may be asking out there, well, how's that going to benefit me if I need help where a man broke up with me? Well, if you have any questions regarding that, you can always submit, any questions, comments, or concerns to my video relationship sanctuary at sanctuary@coacheli.com by going to my website, okay, and clicking on the contact tab and send your story to me. And if I feel your story is one that my entire audience would gain value from, I will do a response video to you and answer your questions for free. Right now, if any woman reaches out to me with her stories or her story, I'll definitely do a video on it because I'm looking for more content from females. I'm looking to hear the female perspective. In the meantime, I feel that you ladies can gain a lot of value in learning how men feel about what's happening in the modern world based on my stories that I'm sharing, based on stories I'm sharing in regards to other men's reactions and what they're going through. And I go into deep detail. I share why they go through that and how I feel, women are affecting men, to react and behave in those ways. Okay? So that's, pretty much my thoughts on, how I'm helping women for the time being. Okay? I do want to get more women involved, and I understand that I really haven't focused a lot on female topics. I've kind of more so discussed how feminism is affecting men. I haven't focused a lot on how feminism is affecting women. I've mentioned that briefly, but I haven't gone into detail on that. I think that's something that I want to go into deep detail on. But I would rather do that in one of two ways, either by you ladies sending me your stories to my email. You can even find those emails below in the description section of wherever you're viewing this video. Sanctuary@coacheli.com. Just go to my website and you'll find all that information there. Whatever you need is on my website or below in the description section of, like I said, wherever you're viewing this video. But I need you ladies to reach out. Share your stories with me and not be afraid to share them. Or if you're another content creator out there, or you're someone that's willing to do a pre-recorded or live interview with me, whatever makes you feel more comfortable, and you're willing to come on camera and share your story, we can do it that way. Okay? So again, dating advice for women, the reason why I mentioned that within this video is because I do help women. I have helped women, before. I've helped women that have gone through divorce, just like many men have gone through. I've helped them, find the strength to get back on their feet, to regain their confidence, and go out there and find a great guy and be happier than they were before. And I've also shared with them, great detail on why certain things happened within their marriage or a relationship that failed before. Because I've been through those relationships and I've seen the failures of those marriages and relationships through my other friends and family that I know. So I have a lot of experience to, share my thoughts on, even when it comes to helping women. So ladies, just don't be afraid. There are a few women that are following, my work right now. I'd probably say about 10% of the people that view my content are straight women. The other 90% are primarily straight men, maybe some gay men, maybe a mixture of everything else. But only about 10% of the people that view my content are women. And I'd like to see that become 50-50. At least, double or triple to 20 or 30%. I'm calling you ladies out in a friendly way that, I want you to feel comfortable to become a part of my community because, I really want to help you ladies better understand what you're going through. And you can even help myself and other men that I deal with better understand where you're going through. The only way we can do that is if we get you out here to share your stories. And to not be afraid to share your stories, because it's gonna do two things for you actually. Okay? Number one, the biggest thing it's gonna do is gonna help other people learn from your mistakes or learn from what you've been through. And that way we can, navigate things better the next time around. And number two, another thing it's gonna do for you, it's gonna give you an outlet to let it out. Because it feels good to let out how you feel. It feels good to share your stories with people. Wow, they're back to doing the construction here on this new playground, and they've opened up this area here. Wow, pretty cool, pretty cool. I can't wait to see the final product. There used to be a restroom over here, and it looks like they actually either have it. Did they tear it down? They tore down the restroom. They're going to probably build a new restroom over there. Interesting. That used to be a pit stop over there on my walks. If I had to use the restroom, it was an easy place to stop along the way. The only other restroom that's easily accessible is in the middle of the park, and I walk around the park because that's the long way. I like to, take the long way to get a longer walk in. It's about 1.25 miles to walk around the park. And I do that between doing my videos and between doing an extra 4 laps after I'm done with the videos. I typically will get close to 7 miles, if not a little over 7 miles on my walk every day. So anyway, but yeah, I want to make it very clear out there that, ladies, you're more than welcome here. And I've actually reached out to many female content creators out there to try to interview them and connect with them and collaborate with them. I've emailed them. I haven't had one response yet. And I don't think it's because, they don't like me or they don't want to do it. I think they're just busy, caught up with what they're doing. Or maybe they just feel, wouldn't it be a good idea to get involved with a male coach. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Ladies, please comment below in the description if you're viewing this video. If you're a lady and you're viewing my videos, please comment. I want to hear your voice. I really want to take Coach Eli's coaching community to the next level for both women and men. Men and women, women and men. Okay? But we can't do that, and we can't make headway unless you ladies participate more. A lot of ladies like to lurk in and see what men are doing, and then they'll just pop out and maybe come back every so often, and they won't make us aware that they're there. Please feel free to participate. I am more than welcoming you. Okay? How far are we gone? We are at 32 minutes. Okay, so what else was I going to share? I was going to share something, and it completely slipped my mind. I mentioned it earlier in the video. Oh yeah, when it came to masculinity matters, non-toxic. Okay. I want to make a brief comment here. The reason why I titled this video Masculinity Matters, Non-Toxic is because I clearly do believe there are different levels of masculinity. And many men out there might get offended by this, and you might not like what I have to say, but I'm just going to speak of the truth, okay? There's toxic masculinity, and then there's non-toxic masculinity. And the reason why I put Masculinity Matters - non-toxic is because our show, the show with Charles F. Gray that I'm doing, is going to be a non-toxic show. We're going to make people aware of how some men are behaving in toxic ways, which are affecting, you know, their lives and affecting women's lives and affecting everyone's lives and affecting society's stigma on this. Okay? But we're gonna do it in a professional way, and that's why I said non-toxic, because we're going to address all of these issues professionally. We are not doing it to attack any man, whether they are toxic or non-toxic. Okay? All I'm saying is that we're going to handle it in a professional and mature way. We may have some fun at times. We may crack a joke every now and then. Okay? Because that's what guys do. We like to have fun. We like to keep things interesting and fun and not boring. But, like I mentioned a second ago, guys, there is such a thing as toxic masculinity, and there's non-toxic masculinity. And let me explain to you guys what the difference is here while I have a little more time here. Okay, because I pretty much got through what I wanted to get through fairly quickly. And today at the park, it's been one of those days. I think depending on the time I come at the park, many cars are driving by, delivery vans, trucks, people walking their dogs, lots of distractions. It throws me off a little bit. But anyway, so what is toxic masculinity? This is just my opinion what toxic masculinity is. Toxic masculinity is basically when a man feels that he always has to be right and superior to the woman in any capacity. Even if the woman is right and he's wrong, he still feels he's right just because he's a man and she's a woman. A man like that's not realizing that he's belittling the woman and not appreciating her for who she is. He's basically saying that his woman is stupid. So why would any woman want to put up with that? Why would any man want to be with a woman that he feels is stupid? And why would any woman want to be with a man that feels, you know, her man thinks she's stupid? You know, some men have that complex of where they have this control thing within them, where they just want to use women as disposable commodities. And there's nothing, you know, non-toxic about that. It's all toxic. Okay? So basically, toxic masculinity is basically where the man feels like it's his way or the fucking highway. There's no middle ground. There's no give. You either accept it or you're fucking out. That's toxic masculinity right there. Okay? Non-toxic masculinity. Let me say that one more time. Non-toxic masculinity is basically where the man appreciates the woman for who she truly is. And in return, hopefully, the woman appreciates him for who he is. Now, if the woman doesn't appreciate him for who he is, if he's doing all the right things, then he needs to sit down and talk with her and see if it's worth it to continue dating her or staying married to her at that point. Okay, but it all starts with, you know, how the man is behaving. All men, for the most part, behave masculine. There are some feminized men out there. Those are the beta males. But I'm talking about, you know, the real strong, true masculine men. Okay? You have the toxic masculine men and you have the non-toxic masculine men that are still manly. And in my opinion, the non-toxic men are more manly because they have more emotional self-control. And quite frankly, women value emotional self-control more so today. They value emotional strength more so than physical strength. Yes, they still want you to be physically strong enough to be able to protect them if you know, you both come across any danger. But for the most part, women more so value emotional strength over physical strength. Oh yeah, another thing, toxic masculinity is when a man feels the need just to walk up to any man on the street and punch him in the face just to prove that he's masculine, just to validate himself that he's masculine. That is not a masculine trait. And that's not going to earn you any points with women, and that's probably going to get you locked up in jail. That's definitely toxic masculinity there, any way you want to look at it. Okay? So let's get back to the non-toxic part of, masculinity. I had it in my head where I was going to just mention something, and it totally slipped my mind again. Very, very important part, and it just totally slipped my mind. I want to see if I can remember it here. Okay? Until I figure it out and remember it, look, women don't want to be with a beta man that's a big fucking pussy or a big sissy. But they also don't want to be with an overly barbaric masculine man that feels the need to always flex his muscles just to make himself feel better. The woman wants to know that he has it in him if he needs to use it to protect her or him or anyone else for the right reasons if there's any danger that comes up. But then at the same time is able to contain his shit and have emotional self-control during other times. Even if another man tries to instigate a fight, a woman's going to more so respect a man that can just walk away and say, hey, you know what, dude? It's not worth it. I don't want to fight you. It doesn't make me any less of a man for not wanting to fight you. It makes me more of a man because there's no reason to fight you. You're coming up to me to pick a fight with me because you're drunk at a bar. And you're going through some shit emotionally, and you just want validation that you're strong. You see, a woman's going to more so respect a man that can walk away from that than some men, where when they're confronted like that, will just say, dude, you're talking shit about me? You see, if you can't control your shit in that situation, if you're a man at a bar, and you get approached by a drunk guy, he starts talking shit about you and tries to instigate a fight with you. If you as a man, that man that he's approaching, if you can't see that he's drunk and that it's not worth it, and you don't have the emotional strength to just say it's not worth it, if you say, hey, you're talking shit about me, if you don't stop talking shit about me, I'm going to beat your ass. If you behave that way, then basically you're acting like a big fucking pussy. And if you have a woman around in that situation, she's going to lose trust of your masculine core because there's no reason to even react in that way to a man that's drunk that doesn't even know how he's acting because he's drunk. Emotional strength is one of the most attractive qualities to a woman nowadays. Okay? And that's non-toxic masculinity. Any way you look at it. A lot of these people in some of the communities I've followed, okay, they're so emotionally weak and emotionally hurt. They've been through so much that when you share the fact of a man being stronger when he's emotionally stronger and can contain his rage and anger, they say that you're a big fucking sissy, pussy, soy boy. These guys are only saying that because they're unhappy within themselves. Because it makes them feel better to stir the pot up. Okay? If these guys that are instigating that and basically are not understanding when you say emotional strength is one of the strongest qualities of a man, if they can't come to terms and one day, figure out that, hey, there's more to life than instigating fights and fighting, and emotional strength is where it's at in being the strongest man you could possibly be, then those are guys you should stay away from. Stay away from them. Don't deal with them. They're never going to learn. Those are the types of guys that are just going to be lonely-ass losers. Okay? And some of the communities I've been a part of, we call those guys TFL. Total fucking, well, it stands for true forced loneliness. Or another way I like to call them are guys that are total fucking idiots. Or total fucking losers. Sorry, total fucking losers. Okay? So, you know, that's non-toxic masculinity there. Okay? I was going to mention one more thing in regards to, you know, dating advice for women. And I still can't remember what it is. I'm probably going to start wrapping up this video in just a few minutes here. Unless I can miraculously, you know, pull it out of my brain or out of my ass or wherever it's coming from. I think it had to do with the non-toxic. I cannot remember what I was going to say. And it was such a good point. You ever had those moments where you have a good point stuck in your head, you're about to make a presentation and you're looking forward to making that point, and when it comes time to making the presentation, you forget that point? Or maybe if you have notes. It's okay to have notes when you're doing a speech or when you're doing a video. The thing is, it's very hard to do that when you're actually at the park with a selfie stick and a headset. So everything I do here is completely on the fly. So forgive me if I have memory lapse, you know, every now and then. It does happen to the best of us. But what I want to say before I start wrapping this up, and I might as well start walking back to the direction of my car, since I'm going to start wrapping this up, is that, you know, masculinity does matter. Okay? It matters to both men and women. Masculinity is what not only built this amazing country where I live here in the U.S., it built this world. If it wasn't for real, raw, masculine men, we would not have the systems in place that we have today. We would not have all of these pipelines and, you know, we would not have electricity, okay? We would not have this great thing that we now have in the modern world called the internet. Do you folks realize that in order for the internet to go from country to country, that men, and I'm sure maybe some women got involved too, because when the internet started, women had already been liberated. So maybe there are some women that were involved in this, but I'm pretty sure it was still primarily men. Men had to lay huge fiber cables at the bottom of the ocean. And those fiber cables are running from country to country where the oceans divide us in order to provide internet access. Now, some people may wonder, you know, well, why don't we use satellites instead? In some areas, satellites are used. The problem with satellites is that there's a lot of latency involved. If you have any friends that have satellite internet because they live in a remote area where they can't get cable, DSL, or fiber, which is what I have now, they have satellite internet. But the latency is very high. What latency is if, you know, you click on a link, it may take half a second to a second or up to 2 seconds for that link to respond. Okay? Because it has to transmit from your place up to the satellite, tell the internet what to do, and then send that signal back down to you. When you use a fiber cable, it's directly connected. And fiber cables, they run pretty much at the speed of light, which is, I believe, 186,000 miles per second. So fiber cables virtually have zero latency. When I do speed tests with my fiber line, I have 1 millisecond latency, which is pretty much nothing. My former DSL connection used to have 20 milliseconds of latency, and most cable connections have around 5 to 10 milliseconds of latency. So, men had to lay the cables underground, underneath the ocean. And I tell you, it's a lot of hard work. Think about the environment you're dealing with. You're dealing with water, you're dealing with diving, you're dealing with waterproofing, you're dealing with securing so it doesn't move around. It's a lot of freaking work. Okay? So, masculinity does matter. It even matters to you ladies, because I know real true women out there appreciate real strong men for who they are, and you're attracted to real strong men. You're not attracted to the beta males that conform to all of your wants and needs. Some of you women out there think that you want a man to conform to all of your wants and needs. If that's what you want, try it out and see how long it lasts. It's going to feel weird. Like I mentioned earlier, I believe in this video, you may enjoy it for a little while, maybe 3 months, 6 months, a year or 2, or maybe even 5 years for some people. But after a while, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm just not feeling it for my husband or my boyfriend anymore. I don't understand why I'm not feeling it for him anymore when he's a decent looking guy. He's a nice guy. He makes good money. He takes care of everything. If we're married, he takes care of the kids. Why am I not feeling it? And the reason why you're not feeling it is because you want to be more masculine than him, so it's forcing him to be more feminine than masculine in order to offset the polarity. So what can you women do to more so appreciate masculine men? Good masculine men, I'm talking about the non-toxic masculine men in today's modern world, is to understand us and appreciate us for who we are. On the flip side, you men need to understand and appreciate women for who they are and what they bring to the table today. Okay? But there's a fine line where both sides should draw, where if one side is making it more about themselves than it being equal, then, the other side needs to call that unbalanced side out. Not all men and women, are going to look at things at an equal playing field. There are both men and women out there in today's day and age that feel their side should be more superior than the other. And if we continue thinking that way, the issues that we have between men and women are only going to get worse. I think we need to focus more on appreciating each other for who we are and what we have to bring to the table, and being a little more understanding to our purpose and how we were made to be as masculine men and women as feminine women. Okay? So that's pretty much everything I have to say today. We are at, what are we at, 53 minutes? Yeah, we're at 53 minutes. All right, so once again, I forgot what I wanted to mention. There was something really key I wanted to mention. I bet I'll remember it as I'm watching this replay. Okay. But again, before I wrap this up, ladies, please reach out to me. Connect with me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay? Send me an email with your story. Send me an email if you're open to having me interview you. Okay? So we can learn more about what you've been through. And not only can we help you, but you can also help us as well. We can help each other out. when we collaborate and work together and share our stories together, we can all figure this out and we can all win, both men and women. And not even just straight men and straight women, gay and lesbian men and women can learn as well. And everyone else, regardless of, what your sexual orientation is, even if you're gender nonconforming, regardless of who you are or how you identify yourself, which is the more PC way to say it nowadays. I guess I got to get used to that. We can all learn from each other. But you got to reach out to me, and you've got to have the strength to share your stories. You've got to have the strength to come out and allow us to learn from you, because it'll help you out at the same time, and it'll make you feel better about yourself that you're letting it out. So please reach out to me. Once again, if this is your first time here, please subscribe and bang the bell, regardless of who you are. I would love to keep in touch with you, okay? And one more time, don't forget the brand new show with Charles F. Gray and I, which is the topic of this video, Masculinity Matters, is going to be launching a week from today, this coming Tuesday, January 29th at 9 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on my Twitch TV channel. It'll be live there at twitch.tv/Coach Eli. Go over there and sign up for free so you get notified once we go live or whenever we go live. And if you happen to miss the live show, the replays will be available on both my YouTube channel and Charles F. Gray's YouTube channel shortly after, the live show ends. And we really want you folks to come and watch the live shows, because we might end up putting the replays under a paywall, because we really want people to be out there to engage in the live show. It's not that we want to charge you folks for it. It's that we want you to be there and participate on the live show. And sometimes you got to do something like that in order to get people to prioritize, viewing your show. And we know it's going to be definitely worth your time. Okay? So that's going to do it here today from Red Morton Park. I think I was a little all over the place today. I've been a little tired lately, and there's just so much going on, so much running through my head. I just wish that so many things could be different. I wish every person on this planet had exactly what they wanted to make themselves happy. I know it's not always possible. You know what? If we stick together, stay positive, and we grow together as a community. Let's grow this Coach Eli community and work together. If we stick together, we can help each other out and have the absolute best possible shot of accomplishing whatever it is that we want to accomplish and that our hearts desire. That being said, have yourselves a great day, folks. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye.